Thankfully, the Yankees were able to get out of Minnesota with a series win, even with how atrocious Game 1 was and how much they wanted to give away Game 2. And even Game 3 had its ups and downs. The Yankees get a series win, and even that is not the greatest thing because this series created more questions than answers about this postseason pitching staff. What's going on, guys? King of 161st Gen. I'm back with another video, and let's start with the starters because to me, this is probably the biggest question mark of the 2025 Yankees postseason run, especially for this wild card series. Who is going to start a potential Game 3 to clinch? You're going Max Fried Game 1, you're going Carlos Rodon Game 2. Those are confirmed, those are locks. There are two guys right now battling it out for that third spot in the rotation. Both of them pitched in this series, in Game 2 and in Game 3. Let's start off with Game 2. Game 2 was started off by rookie pitcher Cam Schlittler. He started off fantastic. Gave up a run early, but was able to go a few innings after that, clean sheet. The Yankees also were able to give him a 10-1 lead at that point, with Anthony Volpe giving you a stellar offensive game. Trent Grisham giving you a home run, with Austin Wells also giving you production. Every player on this team got a hit in this game, and it didn't even hit the fourth inning yet. Then the fifth inning happened, and Cam Schlittler fell apart. Cam Schlittler's final line, 4 2/3, 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Look, I get Cam Schlittler is young. I get that Cam Schlittler is in the single digits in terms of starts in his career. I understand that. But we're talking about a postseason run right now. With Cam Schlittler, this has happened once before to him. And it kind of gives me the feeling that when everything is going right, it becomes an avalanche in that direction. But when things start to mount up, he starts to regress and avalanche in the absolute opposite direction. Just going through this bottom 5 that Cam Schlittler had. He starts off with an out, then gives up a single, then a moonshot home run. And that's where things start to fall off a cliff. Byron Buxton walks. Byron Buxton steals. He gets an out, then Larnach walks, Clemens walks, and in this moment, after a wild pitch, made it 10-4. They make the switch and get the ball to Fernando Cruz. Fernando Cruz gets out of the inning right away. Then that bottom of the 6th where Ryan Yarbrough comes in, Ryan Yarbrough then proceeds to give up another 4 runs. So to me, I'm looking at this and I'm saying there are a lot of people out there who are giving Cam Schlittler almost a break for this game, knowing that the bullpen did not pull up its end of the bargain. But that's not really what happened here. Cam Schlittler is responsible for those runs he gave up, yes, but he's also responsible for the Yankees having to go to Fernando Cruz to get that third out. Do you pull Fernando Cruz there? That's kind of on Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone wouldn't have even had to make that decision if it wasn't for Cam Schlittler shitting the bed to force him to bring in Fernando Cruz to finish out that inning. Obviously, Aaron Boone saw something with the lefty lane, said, let's get Yarbrough some playing time, and he shit the bed as well. Those are the two pitchers that gave up runs in this game outside of Bednar, who gave up the 1 home run but still got the save. I think a lot of people are giving too much grace to Cam Schlittler for this start. Am I saying this is a disqualifier for the playoffs? No, and we'll get to why in a second. This start does not help his case whatsoever. To me, I'm seeing a pattern develop with Cam Schlittler, where if he goes up against an offense that puts up resistance against his electric stuff, and the offense is able to mount some success, he almost shuts down personally. Am I saying this is a definite? No, but this is just a pattern that I'm seeing. It's up to him to reverse this pattern. And something I'll give him on the bright side is that he doesn't show the emotions like a Michael Pineda outwardly. He doesn't show you how frustrated he actually is. It just feels like there's something inside that he can't get over when he starts to fail, when things start not clicking. Looking at this bottom of the 5th, he gives up that home run and then immediately shells up and walks 3 of the next 4 guys. He loses that zone. He loses confidence in himself. himself. That's really what it is. It looks like he gets afraid to throw it in the zone. And when you're afraid to throw it in the zone, you get into counts where you have to throw it in the zone, and the hitter knows that. It is a bad sign for the postseason. I am willing to give him some grace here, see if he can work past this, especially because of last night's game, where Luis Gil had a chance to earn himself that Game 3 start, at least for the time being. He himself started off pretty well. Had a little bit of a rough second inning, was able to work through it, gave up 2 runs there. Yankees then put up 6 runs after that to give him a 7-2 lead. And again, in this bottom of the 5th, a single, then 2 straight outs. You think, okay, he's going to get out of this. Single, single, walk, single, and pitching change. Luis Gil's final line ends up being 4 2/3, 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. The guy who has an opponent batting average of 194 gave up 9 hits in 4 2/3 in this game with a 7-2 lead. That lead gets cut to 7-5 after the inning that Luis Gil gives up. It feels like this 3rd slot in the rotation is going to be earned during this last 2-week stretch the Yankees have. And it really comes down to who can fix their flaws first. Luis Gil's usually a guy who has a lot of control issues, and that also popped up in this game, just in a different way. This time, his control issues ended up being in the zone, which caused hitters to be able to hit the ball a lot better than they usually are against him. I'm not so concerned with him giving up the hits as I am, can he limit the amount of traffic on base to succeed in the postseason? Because there will be teams that can take advantage of that better than teams like Boston right now, who has struggled with runners in scoring position, and teams like Minnesota, who definitely took advantage of it in this game. And then for Cam Schlittler, to me, for Cam Schlittler to win this job, he's going to have to show that when things start to go south, and trust me, he'll have a couple starts, there will be times where things don't go exactly how he wants to. Going up against that Baltimore offense that always seems to take the Yankees a little bit more seriously, he will have ample opportunity to show what his goal is when runners get on base. He's going to have to fix that confidence issue to where once things start to tumble a little bit, he gives up a home run, he gives up a walk in a big spot. Can he recover mentally, start throwing the ball in the zone better, being able to get strikes, throw quality pitches? Because this is something that in now 2 starts that he hasn't looked great in, this has popped up. And you give him a pass against Toronto, because Toronto gave him like 30 foul balls. That's not going to happen too often. But what happened in this Minnesota game, this will happen in the postseason. You will find yourself in a position where you give up a long ball. Can you recover from that? It'll be interesting to see how they are able to figure out who will pitch in the postseason starting wise. But we're also starting to get a little bit more clarity or even more questions, depending on which way you look at it, in the bullpen. As you got to see Devin Williams excellent in high leverage games. Devin Williams now has 5 straight appearances with 0 earned runs. 1 against Toronto, 2 against Boston, and 2 against Minnesota. Playoff teams, and yes, the Minnesota Twins. Devin Williams is starting to look like the Devin Williams the Yankees traded for. It's difficult for us as fans to actually believe this because we haven't seen this all year. We've seen bits and pieces, and this may feel like just another bits and piece of what he could do, but at some point he's going to struggle. But if there's any time for him to earn trust with Aaron Boone and this Yankees pitching staff, it's right fucking now. The Yankees have less than 20 games left on their schedule. They need to figure out their pecking order in the bullpen as well. And right now, is it crazy to say that Devin Williams is the 2nd most reliable pitcher in this bullpen outside of David Bednar? I don't believe it's that crazy. Devin Williams' changeup has looked great, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's throwing that fastball in the zone. he's able to get hitters to swing at that fastball. And when he can get hitters to get off of that changeup just by a few percent, it still looks like hitters are sitting on it, but they have to respect his fastball now. That's how he's able to be dominant with that changeup, because that changeup still has wicked movement. But when you're sitting on that wicked movement and you don't even respect that fastball, that wicked movement is now predictable movement. But when you have to respect the fastball, at any point he could just go back to the fastball. So that movement all of a sudden becomes more effective. This is the Devin Williams we've been waiting for. And he did it against quality opponents. Like I said, 1 against Toronto, 2 against Boston, the most likely contender we are going to face in the postseason. It's either them or Houston. Either way, Devin Williams is starting to look elite. And this could even open up even more questions like, will this last? How long will it last? Can he do it in the postseason? All of it is a wait and see. But right now, he is the most reliable guy outside of David Bednar in this bullpen. But what do you guys think? Do you think Devin Williams can be trusted in the 2025 postseason? Do you think they have been a little too inconsistent? What do you guys think about the starting rotation? Who gets game 3? Cam Schlittler or Luis Heel? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. These last 10 or so games are going to be huge to see who gets a roster spot and who gets playing time come postseason 2025. It'll also be interesting to see who the Yankees play in the wild card game as we inch further and further away from the division. With that being said, I am out of here. Take care and peace.